this. I don't forget, because I will forget. And then we about to get into it. We about to talk about the trades I've taken so far this week. And I really want to go over, why is this? I really want to go over, because I took two trades this week so far. One trade on Monday, one trade on Tuesday. And why is it still in the way? And I won the trade on Monday, but I lost yesterday's trade. And today I just decided I'm not about to trade because my P&L is negative now, and it's only negative by like $9 and some change, which is fine. But I just didn't want to take any more trades today. I just feel like it's no sense in trying to rush into, recovering from that loss. So I'll be trading tomorrow. Welcome to my live. But I do want to go over the trades I've taken. I want to go over the win and the loss, which put me, and I'm only in my PL is only negative because I had a pending trade set, but I'm gonna show y'all that in a minute. I'm gonna show y'all, explain to y'all exactly what happened and why I'm in the negative now. Because I would not have been in the negative had I not had that pending trade set. So it pretty much just added to a losing trade. But we're going to talk about this first. So if you're in my signals chat, this is the trade that I sent out on Monday. Beautiful trade, like literally a beautiful trade. Like this trade actually played out quicker than I expected it to play out. And we were able to profit 36 pips, which literally, that's beautiful. So for those that don't know, I usually take my trades during the London and New York session overlap. So like if you look at my chart, you'll notice these pink vertical spots. Those are literally like where I take all my trades, because if you notice, that's literally where most of my setups like show themselves. Like even if I go here, like all my setups appear usually around 8 a.m. or between 8 and 12. So I usually take my trades, or at least find my possible setups during this time frame. So going back over the trade that I took Monday, and I'm going to show y'all exactly how I found this sale. So the first thing I did, I'm actually going to bring it back now so I can show you how I found this trade. I'm usually on my charts by like 7:45, no later than 8 a.m. And sometimes I don't even get out my bed. I literally wake up and just say my prayers, read my Bible, and then hop on my chart right on my phone. So when I found this trade, I recognized where my high was at, because I trade off of the breaks of structure. So I recognized where my high was at, which is right here. This is my level of resistance, because that's where the sales were taking place. And then I also recognized where my low was at, and I went off of this point right here. So this was what I saw as a level of support. And then this little part right here, let me zoom this in just a little bit. So this part right here, I knew that price was going to have to either, for me to get in for a buy, price would have had to have broken this high point. And for me to have gotten for a sale, it would have had to broke this low point. And if I wanted to get any additional entries, I would have to see a break of this low right here, which I did get that break, but I did not I did not get any additional entries. I usually just do one entry. And that's kind of, I should have stuck to that because that's exactly why my P&L is in the negative right now, because I had set myself up for a stacked entry. But so let me show y'all how I actually got my confirmations on this trade. Because normally when I find my actually let me put that back first because I want to, let me see. Let me copy this. So normally when I find my trades, or even when I'm setting myself up to take a trade, I usually set my I figure out what my entry point would be. I figure out what my risk reward ratio is, and then I wait for my confirmations to be met. So if I know that I'm entering a buy at the break of this high, then typically I would take my price measuring tool and I measure from this entry point, or from this high, I should say, and I usually go up about 3 pips or so. And then I set my positioning tool right at that point because I don't want to get in the trade and I get in too early. Like I want the entry to be up as high as possible so that there's no like pullbacks or anything, or even any entries that, I wouldn't take because it's not at a high enough point. So I usually set my stuff up like that. And then from there, I adjust my profit levels to 36 pips because that's just realistic for my pair. And I mean, there's been times where I could catch more than that 36 pips, but I usually stick to what I know is realistic for my pair. And not to mention, I just want to be, I try to guarantee that my take profit is going to be hit. Because like some people try to shoot for a risk reward ratio that's not realistic. And then they're in a trade that could have been a winning trade had they made their risk reward ratio, 1 to 2, or even just 1 to 3. Because like it would be great to catch a 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, but you can't, that's not always guaranteed. But I know for a fact for my pair in USD, I know that 1 to 2, 1 to 3, those are realistic targets for this pair. So I usually set my positioning tools where they need to be. And then I wait for my entry point to be hit. And then I execute my trade. And honestly, I wait for my breaks to take place too. And then once my breaks take place, I usually set myself up for a pending position, which is a buy stop or a sell stop. Sometimes I use buy limits and sell limits if I believe price is going to retest a certain point. But most of the time, I'm using stop orders. So I'm going to let this play out and I'm going to show y'all. Hey, girl. Hey, y'all. Happy. Is it Wednesday? Yes, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So I'm going to let this play out and I'm going to show y'all exactly how I got this winning trade. So we see prices moving down right here. This is where I got my first initial break of this level of support. This following candle is where I got my break of this next low. So once I got that, I had already sent out the trade to my chat, but I then went and confirmed that I was in the trade. So at that point, once I see the direction that price is going, I delete my other positioning tool. And from there on, I know that I'm in for the sale. Now, I don't know if this is how this was like officially set up. So it might hit the stop in this example because I just redid this. And I think my entry might have been a little bit higher than this point because I know it was at like 60897 or 60811, something like that. I don't know. But y'all already saw that this trade won before I went in and showed y'all how I found the trade. So if it hit the stop in this example, it's because my entry was higher than what I put it for here. So all in all, this is how I got this successful sale what I want to show y'all is how I took a loss yesterday on this NZUSD sale. And what's crazy is at first I thought it was gonna buy, but then I got a break. I got all my confirmations I needed for the sale. I think the problem was I got my entry way too low. And I haven't even went through to see officially why that trade lost. I kind of just took the loss for what it was and I was like, I'm gonna look at it later. But here's the successful sale that I caught the other day. Now I'm gonna exit this out and I'm gonna show y'all the trade that I lost yesterday. And I told you I didn't even trade today. I literally was like, I'm about to just sit on my hands because I could have easily caught a trade today. I could have definitely caught this sale that's happening right now. But I was like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna trade tomorrow. But let's go over this so we can see how these losses took place and how this additional loss took place, which honestly, I just noticed off the bat something I did wrong with that. Now that I'm looking at it from my computer. I'm about to delete some of these zones though, because I feel like this chart is just too chaotic. It's a lot going on. So first thing I want to throw out is when I took this trade yesterday, there was some high impact news that came out and it literally shot this candle down. I waited and see, I wish I didn't wait, but it's like, as y'all, if you don't know, you know now. I usually don't trade news. I usually wait till news comes out and then I let the market do whatever it's gonna do. And then I go and enter my trades. So had I just stuck to my typical trading strategy, which is I'm gonna show you exactly how I looked before the sale took place. Because this could have been a successful trade had I traded how I usually trade. But because there was high impact news, I was like, I'm just gonna wait. And now I wish I didn't wait, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, it really is what it is. So let me show y'all how I found this setup. Because to me, I saw a bearish flag clear as day. Like, clear as day, I saw a bearish flag. And it's crazy because on my trading view, I posted two setups on my trading view. I posted one for a buy, but then I canceled that because I saw this bearish flag. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just post for a short position because I was like, this overall trend is down. This is just a pullback. And I was like, it should sell because this bearish flag is clear as day. So where it went wrong was, excuse me, I was waiting for if it were to have bought, I would have had to see a break of this high. And if it would have sold, I would have needed a break of either this low right here or this low right here. Now, I'm going to let this play out and I'm going to show y'all exactly what happened. And I'm going to try to pause it as quick as it happens. Okay, so let me pause it. So, right here, this was when that news came out, literally. And to me, I'm thinking like, okay, is this manipulation or is this my trade actually playing out? Because it was high impact news. And high impact news causes the market to move very sporadically. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, let me just wait, let the market, calm back down, go back to its norm, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also thinking like, okay, price broke this previous low. It's heading to my next low. So I'm like, okay, let me just set my pending position at the next low that I would need a break to happen so that I can get my entry. So I got the break. Boom, got the break. Trade went in. Trade was active. It was open. It was going. Here's where things got real interesting. So the trade is moving lovely. It's in profit. It's heading to the next zone. Boom. It's right here. It's at the zone. I'm in profit. Trade is doing good. The problem is, if we go back, I think I found this let me switch to the 30 minutes for a second, because I think I found it on the 30-minute time frame. Because sometimes the thing with the market is you have to look for, where your next low is. And sometimes you won't find that next low until you switch time frames and see where it actually happened. So I don't remember if I found it. Maybe I found it on the hour. I don't know. I found it on one of these time frames. I might not be able to find it though, because oh, here it is. So I marked my next zone here because I realized that price hit this level. And I knew that in the past, it definitely went past this point. So I knew, like, okay, if I want price to continue to go low, then it needs to break this level. So that's why I marked this level of price here. So let's go back to the 15 minutes so I can show y'all what the heck happened. Because I felt like I should have closed this trade early, but I've been trying to really just hold my trades and, be comfortable with the risk because, like, I understood what I was going to lose. And I was very much so okay with that. The problem was, though, when price reached this level, it just was moving real weird. Like, it wasn't giving me what needed to be given for me to know that this was going to continue to sell. Hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday. So here's the point where I really, really, really like 1,000% should have known to close this trade. Because I could have easily just got 1% profit or even just whatever I needed for this trade to not result in a loss. So if you look here closely, we got a double bottom. Like, this is a double bottom, clear as day. And I don't know why I ignored it, but I did. But at that point, I should have known, like, okay, let's just close this trade early. I could have closed it in profit for whatever, but I literally was just like, I'm gonna just let it do what it want to do because, I'm comfortable with the risk I'm taking. But right here, once price double retested the zone and went up, not to mention, if I zoom it in just a little more, and I'm gonna delete this for a second so y'all can really see. Right here we have a bullish engulfing, clear as day bullish engulfing, formed at a level of support, followed by a confirmation candle that is bullish, closing above that previous closing price. Price is also going above my moving average. So that just let me know right there that this was not going back down. Like, this was not going back down, and it very much well was going to go in a buy. But like I said, I wanted to just hold the trade and let it do what it did. And honestly, I don't even watch my charts like that. Like, once I get in the trade, I check on it, don't get me wrong, but most of the time I'm living my life doing whatever, and my trades are just doing whatever they're doing. Because that's what trading is supposed to be. Like, you're not supposed to be stalking your charts. Because if you stalk your charts, you tend to close trades too early, or you just make emotional decisions because you're just not trusting your setup. So I just let it be what it was. But if we play it from this point, you'll see that price did a couple things. It broke this previous high right here, which lets me know that that would have been a perfect neckline entry for a buy. Even though it's like in the middle of these zones, it's a neckline entry for a double bottom. So I could have literally easily closed this trade and just got in for the buy. But then at that point, I would have been chasing the market. And you never want to chase the market because sometimes chasing the market just doesn't work out. So realistically, this trade was just done. It literally was done before it even like hit the stop loss. Like, I could have literally prevented this loss from happening. And this right here too. So this is a perfect place to pause it too, y'all. So right here, when it retested this trend line, I was like, okay, we probably moving back in the right direction. And I feel like at this point, I was literally forcing the trade to go where I wanted it to go versus realizing that this was not a retest of this trend line. It was actually a retest of this level of support, preparing for price to push up. But like I said, I wasn't even really watching the trade. Like, I literally was just letting it do what it did. And then here's where shit got real. All right. here's where my trade really just went crazy and it just literally lost. So right here, price took a very strong sell down. It activated my pending trade and then it literally shot up and hit both of my stop losses. That was the quickest candle ever. And what happened here too was it was some news that came out at 6:45 p.m. for NZD. And at that point, it literally was just this trade was just wasn't meant to be. Like it just wasn't meant to be. And I kind of wish I would have went with my first setup, which was for a buy. But like I said, I saw a bearish flag and it was a bearish flag. My entry was just completely off. And that then resulted in a loss. So it is what it is. This is a prime example of don't change your strategy. Just go back and see what went wrong because my strategy is T. Like my strategy is T, but yesterday just wasn't meant to be. Like, and today I could have traded easily, but I just didn't care to trade today. I literally was like, I'm just gonna trade tomorrow. But I definitely could have caught this buy and it would have been a beautiful setup for 36 pips. Like literally. But the losses occur and you gotta be okay with the losses just as much as you are okay with taking a win because no matter what your strategy is, no matter what time frame you change, trade, no matter what your approach is to the market, you have to expect that a loss can occur no matter what because it can. Like it can. So all in all, I actually need to write this down because I don't have this in my trading journal, but I need to write this down so I can add it to my trading journal because I'm about to delete my shorts so it can be clean and ready to go for tomorrow. What is this? A sales stop? Entry price. What is my entry price? Oh, 0.60347. Stop loss. And if y'all not using a trading journal, y'all need to be using a trading journal. And I have one in my bio if you need one. Or you can simply just make your own trading journal. The most important thing is to keep track of the trade you're taking, why you took the trade, how you felt during the trade, how you felt after the trade. Was it a win? Was it a loss? If it was a win, how did you catch that win? If it was a loss, why did that loss occur? Like that's what your trading journal is for. Like you should be documenting every single trade you take because ultimately that's how you obviously not only learn, but that's just how you build consistency and that's how you build discipline. And ultimately, that's how you ensure you're moving in the right direction for your success in this market. So I need to write this down so I can add it to my trading journal because I am about to delete this chart so it can be ready for tomorrow. Because I do not like when my chart gets messy, y'all. Y'all know, and if you don't know, you know now. I prefer my charts to be literally clean, clear. Like some people be having 1,000,001 zones on their chart. And I mean that's cool, but for me, I used to do that, but then it got to the point where I felt like it was just confusing me a bit because it was just so messy and it was so much on one chart. And at that point I was like, I need to delete some stuff. I did not delete my chart. Hold on. What the? Oh, I'm clicking the wrong button. That's fine. Yeah, 26 drawings is insane. Delete, delete, delete. Did I delete? Oh, I thought I deleted my indicators. I was about to say. Hey, hey, hey. Happy Wednesday to y'all. I hope y'all are having an amazing week. If you are just joining in, this will be posted on my live for you to watch the playback. And I actually remembered to record it on my computer. So I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel so that you can watch it on a full screen, clear as day. This sale would have been so beautiful if I would have got it. Let me move it over so y'all can see it. Look at this beautiful sale. Let me show y'all how I would have caught this if I traded today. Because this, I would have caught this. And this is going to be proof that you don't need to you don't need to change your strategy. Like, this is going to be the proof. Because even though I took that loss yesterday, I'm not changing my strategy because I know my strategy works. And I know that the news literally messed up my entire trajectory of the market, if that's the right word to use. But let me show y'all how I would have caught this sale. Let me show y'all. Oh, and I see how I could have caught this buy too. Because even though that sale took place, I could have literally, I only check my charts from 8 to 12 p.m., y'all. 8 to 12 p.m. Am I on my charts that whole 4 hours? Absolutely not. Like, no. I usually am on my charts for like probably 30 minutes to an hour max. But, oh, I ain't even going to focus on that. But I see how I could have caught this buy clear as day. Oh, my goodness. So, back to this sale, though. Which leverage is good for growing a small account? Okay, so that depends on, that's a great, phenomenal question. Because I'm actually, well, I don't know if y'all would think my account is small, but it's small for me because I've traded accounts as big as $500 to $700. So right now, the account that I'm trading, it's not the smallest account I've traded, but it is small compared to others. But depending on what your balance is, and you don't have to tell me your balance, depending on your balance, you want to make sure you're only risking 1 to 2% of that account. Now, there are times where if your account is so low, that 1 to 2% may only be $1, or sometimes it might even be like 50 cents or something, depending on if it's like a $50 account or something. But realistically, if you calculate your 1 to 2% risk, because you should only be risking 1 to 2% per single trade, literally, for the account balance. So depending on what your account balance is, you could probably do $1, $2, $3. It just depends on what is an appropriate risk for your account balance. And that will let you know what your lot size should be. So hopefully that answers your question. And then also, if you want to be an aggressive trader, I'm not telling you to do this. So don't come back to me like, I blew my account because you said, no. I'm not saying to do this. I'm just saying, if you don't want to go off that 1 to 2% and you want to actually risk according to the dollar amount, then, make sure you're using a pip calculator. FXTM.com has one for free. And you want to actually calculate what dollar amounts you would lose according to your lot size and according to your pips for your stop loss. Because sometimes I just go off of that. Like, sometimes I'll tell myself, okay, I'm comfortable losing $6 on this trade, or I'm comfortable losing $7, no matter what the account balance may be after it. Well, I'm not gonna say no matter what, because depending on what the account balance would be after that loss, I tell myself, okay, I'm okay with that. So it really depends on what you're okay with losing and what you can afford to lose. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me show y'all how I could have caught this sale though. So y'all, when I approached the market, and I pulled this back to the time that I typically approach the market, which is anywhere between 7:30 and 8 a.m. Because like I said, I trade from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. because that's when my setups take place. And if you ever want to know the best time to trade your pair, you need to go back and look at your pair and see when, these movements take place. So you can make sure you are on your chart before they happen. Excuse me. So for this, I would have approached the market. I would have pulled out my little rectangle tool to identify my level of resistance. And then I would have also identified my level of support, or even just my previous low, because ideally I trade on the breakouts, the breaks of structure. Like my strategy is breakout. I usually find my retest. If I miss the breakout, I'll find my retest on the minute chart. And then from there, I'm getting in my trade. So for this, if I wanted to catch this sale, or even if because obviously I know it's sold, but if I approached the market and I didn't see that, I would have looked for a break of this high or a break of this low. Depending on where I got my break, that will let me know if the market is either A, still trending upwards, which means it broke that high, or B, it would have let me know if the market was trending downwards and it broke that low. Because if price breaks this low, that lets me know that it's creating lower lows and lower highs at that point. But if price broke that high, then that would have let me know that price is still creating higher highs and higher lows. So for this trade, I would have, like I just showed y'all, I usually go in, I take my measuring tool, I set it, I find out where my entry point is going to be, because I don't just enter strictly off the breakout. I usually enter a few pips away from it, because at that point I know that if price shot up that high, that's a clean break and it's usually going to continue going in that direction. Or I go down and check the low so I can set my entry point for that. So I would have set it about 3 pips for both ways. And then I would have set my positioning tool right here. And then I would have set what my appropriate risk is, which I usually risk 12 pips to catch 36 pips. So it's a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. And then I'm going to set my short position. Because you want to have you have to have your stop loss, entry point, risk reward ratio. You need to have that set in place before you even consider taking a trade. If you don't know what you're risking to gain, you shouldn't even be on your MetaTrader, on your Trade Locker, on your DX Trade, whichever platform y'all use to trade. You should not be hopping on there trying to catch a trade without even understanding what you're risking to gain. So I automatically go in, I figure these out first, and then from that point forward, I'm watching price to see where my break takes place. So boom, I see price broke this previous low. That lets me know off the bat we're in a sale. So I delete this one up top, and I probably would have already been in this trade just off that first candle break, because I usually go in pretty quick. And then, yeah, the trade would have been going. And then I would have been in for the sale. But I didn't trade today. So I did not catch this sale. Oopsie. Ooh, I don't even know what I just did. I think I stopped it on accident. So obviously this would have been an ongoing position. Honestly, even if I didn't go for his 36 pips, because sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go for 2%. Or I would have even went for this previous low right here, because I see that this is where price can potentially reverse. Because you always want to identify your next level of where you need price to break for your trade to continue on. So we know we got our initial break of this previous low. And then let me delete this so y'all can see what I'm about to show y'all. Once we got that break of that previous low, price broke it, it pulled back, and then it continued to sell. So it then broke this previous low right here that was created, which would have let me know that this is game over and price is definitely still selling. So if ever you want to know, like, okay, where is price gonna continue to go to, or where do I need to see another break for me to know that I can continue to hold my trade? We already got these lows. This is our next low that price would need to break for this trade to continue to be bearish. Now, If it did not break this low and it then, treated this level as a level of support, because that is exactly what it can be, I would have closed this trade out. And I probably would adjust my stop loss to fit this previous low right here, or this high, I should say, that was created in that pullback. And I probably would have just made this a solid 8 pips. And then I would have made my target price a solid 16 pips, so it could be 2%. And then that way, if price does revisit this point, it should hit my take profit, because we know that it can definitely hit this low point. Like off the bat, this is probably a very strong low. So that's how I would have caught this sale. And I mean, I could have got the entry maybe a smidge higher, but I usually go off of my breaks of structure. And that is my strategy, y'all. Like, my strategy is T. And this strategy can be used on any time frame. Like, literally. Like, some people trade the higher time frames, some people trade the lower time frames, some people work from the top to the bottom. I used to do top-down analysis heavily, but once I've been trading 5 years, so certain stuff really just, I don't do certain things that I used to do because it's not really needed for me anymore. And you'll eventually get to that point if you're not there already. But I know for me, I'm always on the 15-minute chart. Sometimes I trade the hour chart, but I know this week alone, I've been on the 15-minute chart all week. And last week I was looking at the 15-minute chart a lot, because like I just noticed that with my pair, like I said, this pair, I could have caught this sale if I just didn't even care about the news. But trading the news is risky, and I didn't want to be in this trade and it shoot up in a buy and then it go down in the sell. So I just waited, and I feel like me waiting is exactly why I lost the trade. But whatever, it's cool. Bottom line is, once you figure out where your setups pop up for your pair, you'll know when you need to be on your charts. You'll understand, what time frames you can trade your pair on. Because I know, like I said, 8 to 12, that's when I find my setups. And like even in this case, like how I caught this sale, I knew that price didn't break this level of high. I knew that it was breaking this low, so I went in for a sale. And if I go back to even last Friday, well, I probably wouldn't have traded Friday. I don't trade on Fridays for real. This would have been a 10 pip trade just because it didn't really move too much and it went back down. So I probably wouldn't have caught this trade because I don't take petty trades for real. But if we go back to Thursday, you'll see. And as you can see, I don't even have to move this zone. Like, I haven't even moved this zone, and I see exactly where I would have caught my setups. Like, price broke this high. It didn't break this low. I would have been in for a buy, easy 30 pips out. And honestly, if I wanted to catch this sale, I could have easily caught this sale, but I usually take one trade a day. But bottom line is, price didn't break this high. It didn't break this high. I don't know where a low would be. I would have had to back test for that. Okay, so we got a low right here. So I could have put a low right here, because I mean that is a pullback and a push up. So that would have been my low right there. I would have got a break of this low, no break of this high, would have been in for this sale, easy 30 pips. Boom. If I go back to this Wednesday, now for this Wednesday, I would have definitely had to adjust my zones a bit. I would have had to pull this down. Oopsie. I would have had to pull this down a bit to reflect where price was currently at. And then my high probably would have been about right here where it's already at. I mean, I could have put it right here because that is the high, the first high that's relevant to where price is. But either way, I would have saw price wasn't breaking this low. It pulled up. Even this low right here wasn't low enough for me to think like, oh, this is gonna sell. And I would have gotten in for a buy. And that basically would have been this trade right here that would have completed it. So figure out where your pair moves, y'all. Figure out what sessions work the best for your pair and go from there. Like, it's literally, that's all it is. And then, of course, you want to also figure out how many pips does your pair move on average, because that'll let you know how to set your stop loss and your target price. Because I just told y'all my pair in the USD is easy 30 pips, easy 36, 40 pips, however many, in that range. Or you can do even 16 pips to like, 40 pips, anywhere from that range. Obviously, I try to shoot for 20 pips and above because, you want to make your good money without having to pop big lot sizes, depending on your capital. But once you realize what your pair does, how it moves, how fast it moves, what sessions it moves the best on, when your setups appear, because a lot of people struggle with missing their trades, and it's like you're missing your trades because you don't understand when your trades take place. So like if I see easy setups take place between 8 and 12, then I need to be on my charts between 8 and 12. And I know everybody's schedule is different because you work jobs, or you might have children, whatever the case may be, but you just gotta find a pair that works for you, that works for your life. And even if this session doesn't work for you, this indicator, and let me show y'all this indicator. It is, I think it's in my favorites. Let me see. So it's this pair, this indicator right here. Sessions on chart by rrocks underscore AIF. That indicator is amazing. I used to use this other indicator called kill zones. I don't really like that indicator anymore. I'm not going to say I don't like it. I just don't use it. And I don't have a specific reason why I don't use it. This indicator just works really good. And ooh, my dog about to bark. Oh no. Who at the door? Somebody's at the door. Lord, please don't bark. I don't even know who at the door. Oh heck no. I don't know who this is, but I am not answering the door. Okay, sorry, I had to check my camera to see who was at the door. But anyways, so like I said, I have my stuff set up for London session and New York session and the overlap of those sessions. If you want to do Tokyo session or Sydney session, then you should go with that. Tokyo session for me is 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. The overlap of the Tokyo and Sydney would be not 5 p.m., but it would be 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. So if you want to trade in the evening, then look at the Tokyo session and the Sydney session overlap and see what setups you might be to catch during that time frame. So you want to spend time back testing and seeing how you can not miss your trades, because it's easy to make excuses, but it's like you either want the money or you don't. You either want to learn the skill or you don't. You either want to find what works out for you or you don't. So that is what I am going to leave with y'all. I am about to get off of this live. I hope that y'all enjoyed this live. I hope that y'all were able to learn something from me. I love being transparent with y'all because the losses are going to occur, and that's just what it is. There's no way to really avoid losses. Of course, you can be patient. You can listen to your discernment, your gut, and really just see what the market what the market has to offer you, but you can't really avoid the losses. So I'm gonna leave that with y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this live, and I'm gonna put this video not only on my Instagram, but it will also be on my YouTube so that you can watch the replay. If you just joining in, I am about to get off, but I will post this for y'all to watch. It's not too long, and I know you will learn something. I hope y'all have a profitable week. Join my signals chat. It is linked in my bio. It is free, so you will never have to worry about being charged for that. And I will see y'all on live again, probably Monday or maybe Saturday. It just depends. I will let y'all know though. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Have a profitable and prosperous week. And I will see y'all soon.